Namaste and welcome. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for shifting with all of us and moving online again. It's hard to believe, at least it's hard to believe for me, that we are like at the end of November or coming to the end of November, because it seems like yesterday was Halloween and like the day before that was Labor Day. So time, it feels very accelerated. But I feel like this is the time of year when it's super appropriate to reflect back on the year that's passed us and to take stock and to pause and to go inward, and as a result hopefully express some sort of natural thanks and gratitude for where we are and how we got here. Because this after Thanksgiving, it always feels like it's all about going in, and I know that that's not really what we should be doing in terms of like a community of like going in and hibernating the way that we often do this time of year, and we really need to figure out as many ways to go out and be with each other for our own sanity, but to take a moment and really just gaze in and see where you are and see how you got here and give a moment of pause. So I want you to start by doing that. Bring your hands together and slide them into your chest and scan the previous days, weeks, and months leading you to this moment. And not evaluate with any judgment, but really evaluate all the pieces and all the steps, the challenges, the victories, the celebrations, and the struggles. And as you look in and see that all, give some thanks, because each one of those experiences has evolved you to this point. Each one of those experiences has shaped this moment and the potential in this moment. Each one of those experiences created this experience. So no matter what they felt like in that moment, they're all valuable. They all matter. And then let your hand stay at the center of your heart. And breathe all the way in. Let your hands come down to rest on your knees. The Gayatri mantra is a reset of sorts. It's greeting the new day with the knowledge that you've gathered in all the days previous, and beginning fresh, beginning new. Repeat after me. Om Bur. Together. Om Bur. Bhuvasvaha. Bhuvasvaha. Tat Savitur. Tat Savitur Varenyam Varenyam. Bargo. Together. Bargo. Devasya Dhimai. Devasya Dhimai. Dhyo yo na. Dhyo yo na. Prachodayat. Prachodayat. Listen. Om Bhuvasva. Together. Om Bhuvasva. Tatsaviturvarenyam. Together. Tatsaviturvarenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimai. Bargo. Bargo Devasya Dhimai. Dhyo yo na prachodayat. Dhyo yo na prachodayat. Try the whole thing. Om Bhuvasva. Tatsaviturvarenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimai. Dhyo yo na prachodayat. Bring your hands together at your heart again. Earth, heaven's atmosphere. We meditate on the light of the radiant divine. We offer ourselves humbly to that great sphere so that it might be our guide, so that it might strengthen our practice and deepen our meditation. Breathe in for an Om. Om. 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. And then you can start to let your hands drop away and start to roll down onto your back. And when you get down to your back, have the soles of your feet flat to the floor. Lay your arms down alongside your body. And just feel the natural shape in your back. Take a breath in while you're here on the ground, and as you exhale, draw your thighs toward your belly. When you breathe in, set the soles of your feet. Start with your toes first, but soles down. And then exhale, draw your legs in. Feel your low back lower into the floor. Toes, soles. Exhale your feet in. And bring them down. Try not to use your arms quite as much as you'd like to here. And no need to pull in deep, just pulling in far enough that you feel your thighs coming close to your ribs. You can even take your fingers onto your rib points and exhale, draw in. So you feel how your hip flexor starts to work and hopefully warm up and not be too angry, right? And then Megan, a little bit of this for you goes a long way, right? So anything that feels like it's activating your abdominals, just minimize it. Last few like this, drawing in with the exhale. Last couple. And one more time. Good. And then the next time that your legs are coming up, you can take hold of your knees and you can stay with a knee grab, or you can start to piece finger grip around your big toes. Once you get there, draw in so your arms plug deeper into their sockets. Let your feet separate a little bit. Keep some bend in your elbows as you come into happy baby. Move your head a little left and right, plugging in so you feel your low back to the ground, you feel your arms in your sockets, and you feel your legs plugging into your midline. And then pause there in stillness and just breathe so that you feel like you can release any extra tension across the muscles of your hips, especially across your bum, across the piriformis, even letting your pelvic floor soften a little bit. Last couple of exhales here. Good. And then slowly let go of your big toes. Bring your legs in narrow. You can hold onto your knee creases. Lift your head off the ground and then tiny rocks, drawing your thighs in, kind of massaging your middle back. And then eventually that can turn into bigger rocks, keeping your head up, keeping the roundness in your back as you rock, so that A, you don't smack the back of your head to the ground, but also that you focus on moving your spine. You might hear a couple of pops, you might have a reset, and then rock yourself up to sit, cross your legs, and then start to make your way onto all fours. When you get to all fours, point your toes out behind you, move your hips backward towards your heels, and then set your forearms and your elbows down. So you have sphinx arms, child's pose legs, and then think about the shape of your head and neck and see if it can feel like it's balanced. So you're not hanging your head down or lifting it up. Find a nice neutral. And then turn your gaze to one side, turn your gaze to the other. Moving through your neck, giving it some room, rotating. And then pause in the middle, and without turning your head, tilt your ear to your shoulder, and then to the other side. Like the needle of a speedometer or a pendulum moving. Last couple. And then find the middle. And then let your chin come into your chest. And then inhale, lift it away. Exhale, round in. Inhale, up and through. A few times like that, just checking all the possibilities of your neck. Good. And level out all fours, and then that becomes downward facing dog. So you can curl your toes under and begin to tip up with your hips. And as you do, pedal around, shift, move as you need. Bob and weave a little bit through your head. And then find some stillness. Pressing through your hands, extending through your legs, and feeling this natural drawing in of your chin towards your chest. So without squeezing it there, let it move there so your head feels heavy. One last breath all the way in and all the way out. Raise your right leg up behind you, and then draw your right knee into your nose, rounding through your back.
Stretch that out into plank pose, and then go back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up high. Exhale your knee into your nose so you round, coming close to yourself. Breathe into plank pose, and then back for downward facing dog. Add a plank pose here, breathing in. Drop to your knees, point through your toes, and sit back, child's pose. Keep your arms long and strong. All fours to breathe in, and then downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your heels with the breath in. Exhale your right knee to your nose and round your back. Breathe into plank pose, and then downward facing dog. Lift your heels up, breathe in. Exhale your left knee to your nose. Turn that into plank, and then downward facing. Add another plank pose here as you stretch out long. Bend your elbows and lower all the way down. Point your toes, little lift for a cobra, and then back over your toes, downward facing dog. One more time here, lift your heels, breathe in. Exhale your knee through your nose right into a lunge. Come onto your fingertips and open up. And then step back, exhaling, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, breathe in. Exhale your left knee into your nose. Turn that into a lunge, and then step back, downward facing dog. Add one more plank here as you stretch out. Hug in your elbows, and you can go all the way or part of the way. Over your toes, upward facing. Downward facing. And then take a walk to the front of your mat. And fold into yourself. Bow down. Bend your knees some so you can connect your ribs onto your thighs. Wrap your arms around the back of your legs so you can really get close to yourself. Let your head naturally get heavy and hang it toward your knees. Give yourself one more breath all the way in and out. Ease your way up to stand. And let your arms hang down by your sides, Tadasana. And breathe all the way out. When you inhale, take your arms up alongside your head. Fold over to touch the ground. Inhale your right leg back for a long lunge. Right through plank, bend your elbows, chaturanga or to the mat. Over your toes, upward facing, or soft cobra, downward facing. Same idea, lift your heels up with a breath in. Exhale your right knee right past your nose into a lunge. Bring your left foot forward, and then fold over both legs. Reach up and grow tall, high prayer. Pull down your prayer, release your arms. Reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, breathing in. Fold over and touch the ground. Inhale your left leg back. Move right through plank to bend your elbows, lowering chaturanga or to the mat. Lead with your heart space, open up, cobra or up dog, downward facing. Lift your heels for the breath in. Left knee right past your nose as you step in, rounding into it. Bring your right foot up front, stretch your spine, and then fold over deep. Reach up and grow tall. Pause your prayer, release your arms. Take your arms up, breathing in. Fold over and touch down. Listen, Step backward with your right leg, breathing in. Right there, pull your left knee into your nose and around for your exhale. Breathe into plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. See the front of your mat, and you can walk or step or jump both feet up to the front. Come to your fingertips and open up, and then fold over deep. Stand tall with a high prayer. Pull down your prayer and release your arms. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up, breathe in. Fold over and touch down. Inhale your left leg back. And then your whole right leg floats. Point your toes, pull your knee to your nose. Breathe in for plank, chaturanga, or some other lowering. Over your toes. Downward facing. See the front of your mat. Step or walk or jump to the front. Come onto your fingertips. Fold into yourself. All the way up to stand, high prayer. Pull it down. Release your arms. Bend your knees when your arms come up for Utkatasana. Keep your knees bent as you fold over so you feel your ribs touch your thighs, then plant your hands, then your legs can get long. Bend your knees in preparation to step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana and Adho Mukha Svanasana. Give yourself a couple breaths here in downward facing dog. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Lift your heels for the breath in. Draw your right knee to your nose as you exhale. Step your right foot between your hands and then stretch your right leg long to turn down your back heel. Open up through your chest, and right away your left arm is going into the sky. Triangle pose. Roll your gaze open. Breathing all the way into both legs. Plugging deep in. But then bend through your right knee so you feel your ribs to your thigh, and then come on up to stand. Warrior two. So feeling that connection between rib and thigh as a support system to help bring yourself up. Pressing through your back leg to firm it up. Open up your palms and tip backward, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel down, exit the way you entered, so onto your back toes, right knee to your nose, round your back and float. Breathe into plank pose, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, adho mukha. Lift your heels as you breathe in. Left knee to your nose as you round forward. Step into the space between your hands and then stretch long through your front leg. Anchor your back heel and then open up from the ground. Triangle pose. Gazing up toward your right hand. Turning at your belly space. Right from there, bend your left knee, feel your ribs against your thigh, and then stand up, warrior two. Sinking into it. Even bend through your back leg for a moment, and then see if you can press it longer, and then you'll notice that lifts you out of the shape a little bit and firms up the entire experience. Tip back for peaceful warrior. Cartwheel down. When you get down there, you're on your back toes, left knee to your nose, rounding. Breathe into plank pose, lower chaturanga, upward facing, and downward facing. Lift your heels, breathe in, right knee to your nose, round, 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 round. Step in between your hands, ground your back heel, lengthen through your front leg, open up some space. But stay here as you bend into your right knee. Send your left arm long next to your head, right into side angle, drawing deeper with your right hip crease. So you keep that connection between your right waist and your right leg. Turning open. Feel the connection with your thigh and your ribs. Use that as you come up. Warrior two, right into peaceful. Cartwheel down, pull your knee to your nose. Breathe into plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing and downward facing. Heels up, breathe in. Bring your left knee to your nose. Turn that into a lunge and then stretch long to ground. Keep your hands down. Bend your left knee. Add your right arm next to your head, side angle. Reaching out of yourself, but drawing in. So your left hip crease deepens, and you can feel how that moves your whole pelvis up into the body some. Growing long alongside your head. Keep the connection rib to thigh so that your left hand can float there as you stand up. Warrior two, tipping back, peaceful. Cartwheel down to pull your left knee into your nose. Take it out through plank, chaturanga, upward facing and downward facing. And then one more time, heels up. Draw in your right knee, round, round, round. Step, pause. Move your right fingers forward. So again, you feel this connection, rib to thigh. Keep that as you shift. Lengthen through your standing leg. Open up your left arm, Ardha Chandrasana. Use your fingertips on the ground as a light support system rather than heavying your weight into your hand. So one more breath there. Look down, bend your right knee until you feel your ribs against your thigh, then reach your left toes back. Stay low to the ground, lengthen your right leg, hands to the floor, turn to your left and parallel your feet. Fold over between your legs here, Prasarita Padottanasana. So you can hold on to your outer ankles and bow your head toward the ground. Feeling how your belly gets closer to your legs, folding into yourself. If your head comes down, try not to crunch through your neck. So make sure that you're balancing on your skull rather than putting all of your weight into it. Give yourself one more breath. Stay low, just pick up your head, walk over to your right foot, take a lunge, float your right knee into your nose. Breathe into plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing and downward facing. And then one more time here, lift your heels, left knee into your nose, high on your back toes. Turn it into a lunge. Lengthen through your leg. Open up. And then bend into your knee. Feel your rib against your thigh. Walk your left fingers forward. Ardha Chandra. Lifting and lengthening. Opening up. Let your toes spread a little bit on your right foot. Good. Look down, bend your standing leg, connect your waist to your thigh, then land your right toes, stretch your left leg, turn your left toes, parallel your feet, and then fold between your legs, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can hold your feet again. You could have your hands on the floor between your feet, shoulder width apart, and fold here if that works better for you. Bowing over. Hugging in. Go one last breath. And little lift over to your left toes for a lunge. Bring your left knee to your nose. Turn it into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha. And Adho Mukha. See the front of your mat and step or walk or jump to get there. Fold over yourself, bow down. Bend your knees so you feel your ribs against your thighs initially. Arms up. Lose the connection between your thighs and your ribs, but keep the bend. Utkatasana. Standing all the way up. Release your arms. Pause for an exhale. Give yourself one more breath here. Good. And then arms up alongside your head. Feel the weight shift into your right foot. Pull down a prayer and pull up your left knee. Right from there, extend your left leg back in space. So you have this praying warrior 3. Bend your standing leg, land on your left toes, ground your left heel, reach up with your arms for warrior 1. Add some openness to your chest and perhaps a higher gaze. Firm up through your back leg. So all the going in and all the roundness and all the knee to nosing, let it blossom into this experience of outpouring. One last breath all the way in. Exhale your hands down by your front foot. Simply step forward and fold over yourself. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Stand all the way up. Release your arms. Arms up. Weight into your left foot. And then pull down your prayer. Pull up your right knee. A little point to your ankle there. Extend out. So imagine your leg going straight out behind you without going sideways. Praying warrior 3. Breathing in and out. Right from there, bend your standing leg. Feel a little closeness, rib to thigh, ground, arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. So even though there's uplift in your chest, make sure it doesn't feel like you're throwing your head back. You can lift your gaze up without letting your head get heavy behind you. That's it. Press into your back foot, Claire, and see if your front knee can bend a tiny bit. Yeah. And then right from there, hands to the ground or onto your back toes. Step forward. Fold into yourself. See if you can feel your ribs meeting your thighs. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Stand all the way up. Arms down by your sides. The weight's into your right foot. Inhale your arms up, bring your left knee along with it. So everything reaches up. Right from there, extend back in space with your arms and your toes. Keep the extension, but bend your standing leg, land on your toes, ribs to thigh, ground your back heel, pour over your front leg, Parsvottanasana. So using that connecting point you've been using, feeling how your upper body can meet a leg to stabilize. So it's not about getting your hands down first. Bowing in for Parsvottanasana. Give yourself a little more direction with your right hip back into your body. Even steer your breastbone over the center of your leg some, Lindsay. Good. Come up with your head and your heart. Shift some weight forward. Bend into your right leg. Raise your left leg into the sky, standing split. Look past your standing leg and see your lifted toes. Right from there, lift your eyes, lift your head, come to your fingertips. Keep your left leg long as it comes back down next to your right leg, and then fold over. Feel your ribs meeting your legs. Bend your knees. Utkatasana. Standing up, release your arms. The weight goes into your left foot. When your arms come up, so does your right knee. And then move backward with your toes, move back with your arms. Warrior 3. Keep the extension of your arms and your leg, but bend your standing leg so you make a deeper crease. Land your toes, ground your heel, connect your ribs more deeply to your thigh as your leg gets long. Pour over. Parsvottanasana. Notice if your hips move over to the left or your head and shoulders are moving over to the right. So you can move your upper body to the left to help move your hip into the center. Pressing back through your back foot. Keep the connection, shift some weight, bend your standing leg, raise your right toes, get longer through the leg you're standing on. See your lifted toes, standing split. Lift your head and chest to rock onto your fingertips. Your right leg next to your left leg, folding over. Feel the connection. Bend your knees. Utkatasana. Standing up. Bring your hands into the center of your heart. Shift the weight into your right foot. Draw up your left knee. Extend your left leg and reach for your big toe. Catch it. Extend your right arm up. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Remember how you came out of standing split, okay, when keeping your leg long? So when you let go of your left big toe, your leg stays long, sweep it long back in space, drop your left fingers to the mat, right arm into the sky. Pavritta Ardha Chandrasana. Your lifted leg is going to wander, so pull it into your midline. Make your standing leg long, Adam. And then find more room through your spine. Right there, drop your right fingers down. Lower your left leg down. See if you can drop your palms. Lift your heels up now. Touch your knees into the back of your arms. Bend your elbows and look forward some. So you feel your ribs to your thighs and you feel this perching. You can shift more weight into your hands. Maybe one set of toes or both sets of toes come up. Softening it first, maybe adding more length to your elbows at some point. And then pull up into your belly, land your feet where they started, tense your fingers, lengthen, and then fold, fold, fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Stand up, release your arms. Hands to your heart, weight into your left foot. Draw up your right knee. When you're inhaling, extend, grab. Add your arm, reaching up. Soften where you need, re-extend when it feels right. Keep the length of your leg, let go, sweep through. Drop your right fingers, Windmill your left arm up into the sky. Growing. So think about the length from your left hip crease all the way to your forehead to open yourself up. Spinning your outer left hip back in space. Same thing with your standing leg, Adam. Good. Drop your fingers. Open your chest. Bring down your right leg. Bring down your palms. Lift up your heels. Knees to the back of your arms. So maybe your elbows start with some bend, but then they stay long. So you can perch here. You can use that as you shift the weight to peel up your toes. Feet down, fold over. Slowly step back into plank pose. And then lower yourself all the way down. When you land, let your pelvis and your belly and your ribs get heavy. Let your toes point out behind you. Lift your head and chest a little bit, and then move your arms forward. So it feels kind of like a sphinx that's too big, right? So my elbows are pretty far forward of my shoulder, but then I want to direct my arms into the mat. So I feel my hips, I feel my belly, and I do still feel some ribs on the ground. Feel free to do anything that you want on your back for this one, Megan. If you want to do some bridge on your back or do some little Ustrasana preps. Breathing in. So the heart opening and the back bend aspect really is in your thoracic spine. It's right up in your breastbone. Give yourself one more breath there. And then slowly broaden your elbows. Come down. Take a break on your chin. You can move your pelvis a little bit. Happily do that one again. Or bring your hands back, sort of thumbs in line with your shoulders. You can broaden your hands so they're off the mat. Push the floor down and forward as you start to come up. Keep your pelvis heavy. So now your belly floats. Always remember you can keep some bend in your elbows, but you want to make sure that your pelvis is heavy. So if your pelvis starts to come off the ground, definitely bend your elbows, drop more weight into your pelvis. If your pelvis still feels heavy, direct your arms a little bit longer. Opening up. Good. And then slowly bring it all down. You can stack your hands and rest your chin. Breathing all the way in. And all the way out. Do either one of those again for sure, or bend your knees. Reach for your ankles. Everything's still on the floor. So adjust your grip, drop into your pelvis. And then stay there. Roll your shoulders back. And then begin to lift your chin just a little bit off the mat. Roll back your shoulders some more. Now press your ankles into your hands so your thighs begin to float. Once your thighs are floating, lift your heart. Let more weight drop back to your thighs. Peeling up a bow. Pressing your shins into your fingers. And then slowly lower. Move your pelvis side to side. If you like, you can pick up your feet and windshield wiper on your belly, as long as that feels okay for your knees. Good. And then line up your hands next to your chest. All fours. Walk your knees up. Sweep your feet to the side. Extend your legs. And then bend your right knee. Make sure that your right foot is a little bit wide of your right sitting bone. Either take your left hand or your left elbow around the front of your right knee, and then begin to rotate to the right. Notice when your head wants to drop or crane in a big way around, right? So find the twist upright through your spine, and then let your head travel what feels like halfway into the twist, so that your right shoulder is the thing that's really wrapping around your back, not trying to wrap your neck around a tree. Go one more moment there. And then slowly unravel. Stretch out your right leg and change sides. Bend your left knee. Remember, there's at least, I don't know how to measure it, but there's a gap between your left foot and your right leg. And then you can use your hand or your elbow. Taking the twist around, do watch out for pulling your knee across your body. So you can press your knee out into your touch. That's it, Leah. Yeah. And now, Leah, lift your breastbone up. Yeah. Level out your head again. And then take a little gaze left. Breathing in and out. One more moment there. Good. Unravel. And then bring the soles of your feet together in a loose diamond, so that there's a nice space between your heels and your pelvis. Interlace your fingers, lean forward so that you can hook your interlaced hands underneath your toes. This is a great place to stay and be, or bow your elbows out wide. And again, make sure it doesn't feel like you're pulling yourself down. You've just opened your elbows. And when you open your elbows, let that open up your upper back. And then you might incrementally find that you're folding deeper, but you're paying attention to what you feel along your spine, across your back, and across your low back, so that you're bowing slowly into this idea of Tarasana, the star. Eventually, you might let your forehead drop to your feet. Breathe all the way out. Lift your head a little bit. Loosen the interlace so you can hold on to your feet. You've got your grip around the pinky edges. And then right from there, your legs can slide out perhaps as you fold into your legs. So you kept that deep connection, and then you can drop your head. Notice if your shoulders migrate up by your ears. Keep rolling them down. So if you think about the grip around your feet and your elbows working together, elbows down, and then use your fingers to pull against your feet to open your chest up. So you're not trying to fold any deeper. And then once you find the openness, your shoulders will be down, and you can let your head drop again. Good, and then slowly sit yourself up. And here's where your blanket comes in. So grab your blanket and hopefully, it's cooperative, right? And you can fold it the way that you might find it if you were to take it off the shelf here. Lay that on your mat so it creates a little ridge for your shoulder. Go this way. So that when you lie back, you can get your shoulders on. We're not going to shoulder stand. We're not even going to plow, right? So take a look for a sec if you're unsure, right? So when you're here, remember this, drawing your legs in, you use that same action so that you draw in, and then as you get to that point where you need a little help, press your arms, knees toward your shoulders, toward your cheeks, and down by your ears. And then once you're there, you can take your hands to the back of your legs and cultivate a deeper hold so that your knees drop alongside your ears. You can drop your arms to the mat at some point. Karna Pidasana, really coming in. When you come out of it, hold the back of your calves, ease down. Okay? So shoulders on the ridge, arms on the mat. Notice if you're already using your arm strength, right? Bend your knees. And then as you exhale, notice your head wanting to pull up, but draw your hip crease deeper, knees toward your chest, toward your shoulders, toward your cheekbones until your knees come up by your ears. So keep your knees bent the whole time. Your knees are bent the whole time. And then once your knees feel like they're close to your ears, one hand can transfer onto the back of a leg, and then the other hand can do that. And then keep dropping your knees down alongside your ears. Might be curled toes that are touching the ground or pointed feet. And then once you feel like you've got a heaviness and a deep connection, you can keep your knees where they are, move your arms to the mat and stay there. So keeping your knees bent next to your ears, this deep, rounded inward gaze to yourself. Stay for 2 more exhales. And then make sure that your arms are down, and then begin to move your knees away. You can catch the back of your calf, catch the back of your knees to hold on as you start to roll down slowly, slowly, slower. And then once you get down, your soles can drop. Just roll to one side in a little fetal position, so roll onto your side. And just be there for a sec. And then fetal to the other side, roll to your other side, fetal shape. Good. And then you can briefly use your hands to sit up, to move the blanket out of the way, and then return to your back for rest. You can use your blanket under your knees. You can use your blanket to cover yourself up. Lie back and take rest. tare tu tare. Tore, 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 Swan, Tore, 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 Swan. Om Dare To Dare. Om Dare To Dare. Tore, Tore, Tore Svan, Tore, Tore, Tore Svan. Start to breathe deeply again. Start to move your body. Bend your knees. And roll to your side. Come on up to sit. Bring your hands into the center of your heart and breathe in. We are one life, we are one light, and we are one love. It's with gratitude that I bow, honoring the light in each of you. Peace be with you and blessings upon you.